Hi there, I'm Child of Bones and I'm a practicing witch, and I have been for the last 20 years, and in that time the relationships that I formed with deity and plant spirits, what we did is we produced together a product line of magical products that enable you to connect to the energies of the deities and plant spirits. And today I'm going to talk to you about the Great Lady of Snakes, and she's a very ancient goddess, obviously of snakes and serpents. She's a very, very formidable mother, a beautiful one and a transforming one, and slightly scary at times, to be frank. The Great Lady of Snakes is all about transformation. It's about shedding skin, which, as you know, evolution kind of hurts. Not the most comfortable thing always, let's not pretend that. The Great Lady of Snakes energy can bestow radical purging of emotional toxicity, which, as you imagine, maybe not the most comfortable ride there, but surely the fruits of that blessed magical working with her is worth it. And I guess when we think about working with such a formidable aspect of the Goddess Mother, we always have to ask ourselves before we undertake something like that, whether or not we actually have enough grit, whether we have enough strength, whether we have enough marrow to actually get through the working. And that is a really important question to ask. And I think even, experienced practitioners need to ask themselves that. I mean, I think we can't be too blasé, whether we're fit and well at some point in our lives and maybe a little bit more robust. It doesn't mean in a couple of years down the track you can tap into that energy and not come out a bit bruised at the end. So we always need to ask ourselves and work with kind of like the magical maturity of just saying, okay, where am I now? How much stored energy have I got? How will I be with what I need to transform, and how will it go? A lot of the old gods, when you work with them, in my experience anyway, you can't stop that power once it's ignited. You need to go through the transformation, and the Great Lady of Snakes is in no way, shape or form any different from that. It's about rebirth, and if you're going to have a breech birth, that's usually because you're trying to stop something that that's well underway. And like nature, you can't fight it, baby. You've got to keep going. So it's about the interconnectedness of all things. The Great Lady of Snakes brew is very linked to the plant spirit ayahuasca, which is about this amazing plant spirit that's been around for thousands of years that the indigenous tribes in South America use, and it's about the night of the soul, or the death and the dying and transformation, and it's a very serpentine, very, very blessed master presence on the earth. A beautiful, beautiful plant spirit, a formidable one, and a great, great healer and teacher. So, and in that kind of alignment of the Great Lady of Snakes, I would say, this isn't a beginner's god force to connect with. If it was the first time that you ever approached magic, I would say maybe use a plant spirit first, or an allyship, or something culturally around you that you're familiar with, and then you would work towards other god forms, having had a bit of practice. Okay, so anyway, just to get on with it today, I'm going to show you the Child of Bones Great Lady of Snakes under her spiritual instruction. This is her brew, and the brew is based in salt not being perishable, so it's going to last a long time. And it's the ingredients in this brew have been sourced from all over the world, because she was very specific in what she wanted in there, and this is to align to her energy. So this brew is geared up completely to tap the Great Lady of Snakes energy, and then you could work with her to actually ignite a rebirth in yourself. This would be about where you needed transformation, where you felt your emotional toxicity had reached a level that you wanted to break through. You don't contact the Great Lady of Snakes because something small and mundane is just kind of ticking you off. This isn't really the energy to undertake. This is the kind of energy that will kind of like very quickly propel you into like what is often described, and other people who've used this brew have told me the same, it was the same experience for me, where you go inside the snake and you're incubated there. So you journey very quickly, it's like that. You get in, the next thing you think, oh my goodness, I'm in a serpentine cave, or I'm in a serpentine wall, I'm in the belly of a snake. And trust me, she expels you. You can't really get out of there. So once it's ignited, the magical working, it has to be seen right to the end this is why I'm thinking, you know, it just pays just to pause before you undertake a magical rite and just think, you know, do I want this? Do I need this? Is this the right energy for me to be working with? So that's unsurpassable transformation itself. Unbelievable, amazing, totally rate her, think she's really powerful. Would I say a beginner should start with a Great Lady of Snakes? No way. Okay, so that's that. The other thing I want to mention quickly is also under her instruction, which is a distillation of the brew, if you like, is serpent oil. And this is actually her oil, her magical oil, and what we do here is a ritual feeding. So because the Great Lady of Snakes, river of energy, being such an ancient goddess, is quite wide. There's lots of different currents of magical power that run within her river. So what I'm saying is you could contact the Great Lady of Snakes for loads of different reasons within her domain of magic, whereas this is taking one current out of that river to work with, so you're not spilling over to necessarily form a relationship with her. You're actually tapping one aspect of her power. And the serpent oil, this particular oil, okay, is for actually having lubrication. It's like contacting the universe and saying, I need a bucket of lubrication to come into my life as I move from one situation to the other. This is a shedding of skin. It's for ease and transition. So maybe you're relocating to the other side of the world, for example, or you're finishing one career, starting a new one, or you're moving from your house into your partner's house, and this is a big deal for you. So what you want to do is you want to actually order a bucket of lubrication from the universe. This is kind of your brew, really. So what you would do is you would have the ritual salts in a little jar. Keep this ritual away from the eyes of the living. Put your hair, fingernails, a bit of sacred elixir, anything to personalize the salt, because sympathetically this is becoming you now, okay? Then you would take the serpent oil and you would undo the top, and then you would just ritually feed a little tiny bit over 28 days. With my products, it doesn't really matter, okay, when you start in the lunar phase, but do it for 28 days, and you're actually, you know, you're tapping the energy of the Great Lady of Snakes for slipping from one situation to the other, shedding a skin, easy transition. It's a really nice way to use a formidable goddess's power in quite a controlled manner for a nice effect. She's a very strong magical presence. She's a beautiful mother, a blessed mother. I hope you enjoyed this video clip today, and I hope it was informative for you. And the next video clip that we're going to put up is on Mako Woman, the shark goddess.